Warm, generous applause for Salford as they take the field. Applause from both Salford and Saints fans, applauding as much as anything that superlative performance from Salford in the Regal Trophy semi-final against Wigan last week, in which they very nearly upset all the odds. But tonight it's back to league action. The question is, can Salford continue the form that they had last Saturday, or will they find the might of St Helens, who must recognise that a victory tonight will be important to them if they're going to maintain their title challenge? All will be revealed. Mr Smith, referee, not very popular, but let me quickly run through the Salford team for tonight. 1 or 2 changes from Saturday, and it's good to see the squad players all getting involved. At full-back, Gary Jack and 3/4. Paul O'Neill, Jason Critchley, Peter Williams and Phil Ford. Half-back, Stephen Blakely and Sean Brown. And in the forwards, David Young, Mark Lee and Richard Webster making his full start debut. Paul Forber, Bob Marsden, Andy Burgess, and substitutes Chris Turrow and Terry O'Connor. The Saints team, Phil Vivers is at full-back. 3/4, Steve Prescott, Ian Pickavance, Paul Laughlin, Anthony Sullivan. Half-backs, Jonathan Griffiths and Gus O'Donnell. Forwards, John Neal, Tommy Hodkinson, Andy Dannett, Adam Fogarty, Sonny Nichol and Chris Joynes, and substitutes Mark Riley and Sean Casey. And let's just have a little look at that mascot for Salford. What a big day it is for that young fellow, alongside, I'm sure, his heroes. And isn't it nice? Oh, tossing the coin as well. And everybody giving some time for the youngsters. Well, I'm pleased to say that Rom's made the trip down the East Lancs Road. Ron, I'm sure everybody applauded the Salford performance on Saturday, but Saints surely will know that if they want to get back in the championship race, a win for them tonight is vital.
Well, it is, Steve. It's essential that they come away with the 2 points tonight. Obviously, Salford cock-a-hoop. They gave Wigan a good game, even though I thought the referee's performance left a lot to be desired in certain areas, and we've got the same fella tonight. But Saints, last game, New Year's Day against Widnes, it was a game of 2 halves, as they say. Saints on top in the first half. Widnes came back in the second period, and just a bit of fortune with a John Neal drop goal, and then Saints got the ball back and they capitalised on it and they finished it off and they got the 2 points. Well, we just have to see how it goes, Steve. Lots of players out injured for Saints. Salford have got quite a few changes. We'll just see how it goes. Look forward to a good game. John Griffiths to, I beg your pardon, Gus O'Donnell to kick off. Salford will receive.
Yeah, let's hope we have a good game. Paul O'Neill, good start from Paul O'Neill. Martin Burkitt's not in the 3/4 for Salford today, but Richard Webster in the forwards with his full debut for Salford, and that's great to see. Andy Gregory not in either. I don't know whether he's been resting. Oh, Paul Forber already involved with Ian Pickavance. And Bob Marsden making a start, but that defence from Saints, that's very sharp at this early phases of the game. They're the team that's rested. Richard Webster running forward and strongly and nearly getting past Sonny Nichols' tackle, but the tackle made and Salford have got to the last one. Oh, Mark Lee's going forward. Oh, and then flattened as he kicks, but it's a good deep kick. It's running and running, but he's going to be taken. Anthony Sullivan picks it up, looks to run, but the chase from Salford, good. Good early 6 from both teams.
Yes, good early 6 from Salford, and they'll be looking to put pressure on the Saints, and with the conditions being quite slippery, Saints will have to make sure that they get out to try to get out of the 20-metre area. Salford will push up early, as you said, Paul Forber and Mark Lee, ex-Saints, and Forber having a little bit of an altercation with Ian Pickavance. Early days yet. The old pals act, I'm sure, but it's Saints in possession. Just crossing the 20-metre line. John Neal bursting through, last tackle of the sequence. Good yardage made by the Saints in difficult conditions. The ball comes back to Laughlin for the kick downfield. Phil Ford should take it. But Saints penalised, not giving Phil Ford the required yardage. But all Saints moving up. Laughlin with a high kick. Ford took it well, elusive character, but it didn't matter this time, Steve.
No, I agree. Phil Ford's running is still a revelation, and he's always looking to create an opening. And I'm also impressed with Phil Ford's cover defence, particularly when he covers over on the far wing. And it's great to see a man with his experience putting that experience to full use both on attack and defence. Richard Webster going for the first one. And it's good, strong forward. It's great to see him on the park for Salford. And Sean Brown in the Andy Gregory role to David Young. Makes a couple more metres into the Saints 20, so it's early position for Salford. Nice little run on to Andy Burgess and to Bob Marsden. And Bob Marsden looked as though he'd found the opening, but the Saints defence was a match for it. Quickly right. And that was a nice little pass from Andy Burgess, but clearly a forward pass, and the referee picking that one up. But good play from both teams.
Well, an excellent start. It's nice to see the referee picking that one up. It was only about a yard forward. He picks them up on Saturday that weren't even forward. But anyway, that's how it goes, isn't it? The rub of the green and all that sort of stuff. The scrum down Saints feed, about 15 metres from the Saints line. Gus O'Donnell should feed it. The ball, very loose, but tidied up eventually. Phil Vevers, it looks like in the full-back role. Injury to David Lyon. But obviously Salford want to keep the Saints down there just as much as Saints want to come out. And the touch judge on the far side. Look, a little bit of hanky-panky. Paul Farber involved. And obviously, as I said before, he wants to do well against his old teammates. But David Young, the captain, along with Paul Farber, just being spoken to by referee Russell Smith. It's always a case of when your old team, and he's playing tremendously, Steve, isn't he, Paul Farber? He had an excellent game last Saturday.
Oh yes, not just last Saturday. He's had a lot of excellent games since he joined Salford just over 12 months ago. And it's hard to believe that he had an appendix operation in the early part of the season, because he's not only recovered, he's back to full form. And what a competitor he is, a great player to have on your team, without a doubt.
Well, yeah, your appendix operation, also had surgery on his knee for cartilage, and obviously the neck problem that he had that may not have been able to play again. But what a competitor. But Saints in possession. John Neal driving it down the middle. Probably the first decent set of six for the Saints. Make a bit of yardage after Salford being penalised. But Farber quickly in there again as Adam Fogarty comes through. Tommy Hodgkinson on to Andy Dannerty. He makes good yardage, and it looked worse the pitch than it actually seems to be playing. It looked bad early on, a bit of water line in the centre, but it's holding up well. Drive by Joint, midway between the Salford 20 and the halfway line. Back to Gus O'Donnell. Touch Gary Jack on its way down, and Saints will run up, and they'll hopefully take Gary Jack as he comes through. Captain and the coach, well, not the captain, Young's the captain, but Gary Jack the coach here, and Salford back in possession.
Yeah, good six from Saints. They made a lot of yardage in that, particularly with the kick at the end. Here's Phil Ford looking to find an opening, but there's no way through that time. Prescott, one of the tacklers. Back to David Young. Headlong into Sonny Nicol, who puts him down. Sean Brown in the Andy Gregory role. Bob Marsden running strongly. And he gets his pass out. The referee says that's a good pass. And Jack's looking to make more ground. He does that, but it's the sixth tackle, and Salford not out of their own half. Goes back to Blakely for the kick. Good long high kick. But that's excellent. Sullivan took it well. The ball went backwards and play on. But it's good to see wingers really going for the ball and making sure they take it before it bounces, Ron, isn't it?
It is, Stephen. It's always difficult in the floodlights, you know, in an evening game. Sometimes just to blind you a little bit. But Saints are back in possession, moving it out quickly. Gus O'Donnell with an inside pass to John Griffiths. Quick hands there to Chris Joint. Adam Fogarty was on his left. Well, offside, Salford, both sides. Russell Smith moving in quickly. Saints moving up and getting a penalty from referee Smith. Obviously, as you know, as regards the video, we had to work in conjunction with Micron this evening, limited space, and hopefully, as far as Saints are concerned, the Saints video team, we can bring you the action replays and obviously full joint match coverage. Paul Loughlin finds touch, but Saints back on the attack, just inside the Salford half. John Neal, first drive in, good yardage, good tackling there, Bob Marsden. Tommy Hodgkinson at the dummy half position. On to Gus O'Donnell, now with Andy Dannett. Salford moving over quickly and tackling well. They've got a big pack on this evening of Salford, and 2 forwards on the bench, or looking for some heavy play. As Sonny Nicol makes good yardage, just brought down short of the Salford 20. Well, the referee said it was a high tackle. It didn't look a lot as far as we was concerned, Steve. It didn't look very high as he come through, but he moved in quickly and he's awarded the Saints a penalty.
Yep, and as long as he makes his decisions consistently, we obviously, as the players do, have to accept that. But that was a good move from Saints, and they looked threatening then, perhaps for the first time with Sonny Nicol coming on the charge, and it was an important tackle that was made by Salford, a 3-man tackle to bring him down. But the first penalty attempt is going to Saints, and after I was saying about 7:20 that the crowd looked a bit thin, it's actually filled out quite a bit in the last few minutes, and this is a fair crowd. Perhaps not as many as it might have been had the game been played at weekend, but nevertheless quite a reasonable crowd for the Willows these days. So this should be quite a straightforward kick. Certainly strikes it well, and he's hit the post, and the chase Donald's there, and he kicks ahead. It has to be played by Salford, but the referee picks out the knock-on, and he's also, that's right, so it's going to be the scrum down and the put into Salford. So we saw the post hit twice by Salford on Saturday, and that was one that I think Laughlin we could have expected to see score from that run.
Well, I would have thought so, Steve, but it's just how it goes, isn't it? Difficult conditions, should really pop those over, and obviously valuable as far as Salford are concerned. Points lost for the Saints. Early days yet, only 8 minutes played, no score at present, but a good game in difficult conditions, Steve.
Yeah, definitely. And as you say, the pitch just shows very little sign of all the rain that we've had today. And Richard Webster in the end hanging on well and shrugging off one man and running forward. He's going to make an excellent player at Salford, Richard Webster. And Forber on the charge. Oh, and a nice instep from him. Brilliant sidestep round Sonny Nicol from Paul Forber. John Neal holding him down. Perhaps referee responding to the kicking legs, to the fans' chants, but either way, very positive in his decision, and the penalty that time going to Salford. And Steve Blakely with the chance to make a very, very good touch, and Salford just outside the Saints 20. Mark Lee's going to give David Young the chance to put the first charge in, and David Young almost makes the 20 line. Salford's runners there, Andy Burgess and Paul Forber again, but the defence from Saints alert to that situation and preventing Forber getting clear. Good crisp passing from Salford. Marsden won't find a way through there, but the crowd noticed that he'd knocked on, and that move comes to naught. And I think we have to remember that whilst it's not raining underfoot, and it must be very slippy, and it's almost understandable that they're going to have those sorts of drop balls, but it's the Saints in possession.
Yeah, it looks good though, Steve. It seems to be standing up well, the pitch. But yes, Saints have possession from the scrum. Bob Marsden that lost possession after Paul Forber had milked the penalty off referee Smith. There's no danger about that with kicking as John Neal came through, but well, Saints lose possession now. Salford pick it up. Well, Salford player knocked on, yes, and as regards the Saints video is concerned, obviously we're thick with Salfordians here, and as you can hear them crying for everything, just as obviously you'd expect the Saints players to do. Well, that was a knock-on, just as you can expect the Saints crowd to do if it was the Salford commentator in amongst the Saints faithful. Well, anyway, the base of the scrum there, and that was a knock-on.
I think I nearly understood all that, Ron.
Yes, but you know what I mean. As I said the other week, it was like the lad with the blue jersey on. Well, a catalogue of errors there. The base of the scrum, Saints trying to work the miss move, and it didn't pay off for them.
And the ball comes out of Salford way, and Blakely sees an opening. Oh, and surely that was a high tackle. And Blakely having difficulty getting up. And a chance now for Salford. Richard Webster, superb run from him in his first game. That will do his confidence the world of good. Where are the Salford runners today? There's Bob Marsden. Oh, what a shame. A real chance for Salford. Gone a-begging. Richard Webster had done so much good work in that, and unfortunately the final pass was put to ground with the line of begging and a real chance to open the scoring gone there, Ron.
Yes, it was, Steve. Good work there from Webster, as you said. Good drive. The last pass going astray. Salford temporarily down to 12 men with Blakely still injured. But Tommy Hodgkinson going through. He gets the ball away to Sonny Nicol. Can Saints move it quickly? Good tackle. Man and ball there from the centre. Peter Williams. Saints want to play it quickly. Chris Joint. Took it well, but solid tackling there. Farber made sure. Saints still driving it up there. Ian Pickerman's coming into the centre. Releases it there. Tommy Hodgkinson brings it over to the right wing. Steve Prescott's with him. Both Hodgkinson, well, lying on there. Bob Marsden lying on, and the referee not penalising him this time. The sixth saddle, it's touched. It's all on again. It was touched there by Phil Ford as he drove through. So Saints have another set of 6 to hopefully make it count. Just outside the 20-metre area. Saints will have to move it across. Oh, 3 or 4 man overlap on the left if they could have just let it go across. But Saints now just getting into the swing. No score at present. Loop movement there, Griffiths. Good ball to Loughlin. He drives down the wing. Inside ball, yes. Saints just held short of the line. Points must be imperative. Yes, is he in? He's held up over the line.
That incident with Jonathan Griffiths before, but Saints pressure, more Saints pressure. And the ball's just about out of the scrum. No, it's not, says the referee. But yeah.
So Salford want to make a substitution now. Blakely to come on. Saints take the scrum. Beavers links up from the full-back position. Gets the ball away to O'Donnell. Pin to Pickermans with Prescott on his outside. Can Prescott beat Ford for pace? Oh, excellently tackled by Phil Ford. Obviously difficult conditions, Steve, but it still takes a job to get around Phil Ford. He's still got it, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, and isn't that what we all enjoy about rugby league? You can cheer the attacker and we can cheer the defender, and it's brilliant, isn't it? And cancelling each other out. But Saints certainly having the position and also the possession over the last few minutes, and Salford struggling to know whether Steve Blakely should come off or not at this stage. Well, can he run off his knock? He's staying on the field, and it certainly seemed to be a bad knock that he received. Gary Jack taken down and then tripped as he tried to get up, and that was Jonathan Griffiths. So some respite for Salford there, and Salford deciding that whatever the knock was to Steve Blakely's ankle, that he can run it off. And really, you've got to admire the fitness of these guys, haven't you? To take a knock that obviously left him in pain, and there he is, not going off. Ron, haven't you?
Well, they don't do this, Steve. They get up, you know, they could have fingers dislocated and perhaps broken limbs. Well, you know, not obviously broken limbs, but knocks that, you know, anybody wouldn't. They just want it strapped up and get back in the action, don't they? Yeah. And they're driving up towards the halfway line.
Yep, 2 good, strong surges there from Salford, making a lot of important metres forward. Andy Burgess, ever present in the Salford team this season, playing so well for the Red Devils. And Bob Marsden, he's made a big difference to these Salford forwards. And Paul Farber looking to go through against his own teammates. Oh, so unlucky that he wasn't in quite the right position for Blakely in support. Good long pass on to Critchley, on outside to O'Neill. What can O'Neill do? He can. Oh, superb rugby league football. The long pass missed the man out. He went to Critchley, who drew in the winger. He passed on to O'Neill with one of his few appearances in the first team, and he is very positive and aggressive in his run for the line for a try, which has come, surprisingly in some ways, after a period of St Helens pressure. But what a good try.
Oh, an excellent try, Steve. Good work by Farber up the middle, and then Salford obviously a good eye. They saw the opening on the right-hand side. A long cut-out pass onto Jason Critchley. St Helens lad Critchley came from the Black Brute Club, and since he came from Widnes, he's been more or less a revelation. Took it well, drove it well, and O'Neill on his right slipped it out to him, and 4 points. Salford opened the scoring. 16 minutes gone.
Yeah, when we look at that try again, I think we must congratulate the Salford player that made the long pass, missing the man out, and I'm sorry that I didn't pick it up quickly enough. It was all happening so quickly, but that was certainly a major factor in the scoring of the try, but it needed to be scored. Critchley onto O'Neill, and O'Neill going straight and true for that corner and getting the first points of the evening. And Blakely thankfully recovered, and that was very, very close from a very, very difficult position. So 4-0 to Salford. 4-0 after 17 minutes and 57 seconds. Good start for them, continuing where they left off against Wigan. So it's Saints to restart. Good kick deep. Brown's going to make that his, but he doesn't in the end, and it misses him and Critchley. But fortunately, from the Salford point of view, neither Brown nor Critchley touched the ball, and that means that at the scrum, Salford will have the put in. I don't know about you, Ron, but I don't think I've seen a poor game of rugby league this season. I just see them getting better and better.
Oh, there's been some good games, there's no danger. Obviously, you must have your downs with your own side, with poor performances, when you think they could do better. But it's still, I know we've lost a few. How many have we lost? 5 in the season. You've lost 9. Unfortunately, Salford in 12th position, Saints in 6th. We've got to keep up, obviously, the challenge for the championship, and there are a lot of good games. Obviously, you can pick holes in it. You think on the day that it doesn't look good. If you watch it again, obviously on the video, it looks a lot better. But yeah, it's getting better, Steve.
I think so.
Get him onside, referee.
So Salford taking full advantage of that penalty, making good ground forward, and Richard Webster, he's having a real big part in this game. A tremendous debut for him, 20 minutes into the game. He's been on before in the first team, but the first time he started. Well, Andy Burgess did well to take that ball. And Blakely on the run again. It's good to see him going forward positively and confidently and getting his pass on, and Mark Lee brought down. He'll be wanting to show his former teammates. Now is another chance for Salford. Forber surprisingly out on the right-hand side there. Normally plays on the left. But so it's the last tackle. Brown for the little kick. It's the kick and the chase. Brown's there, but it's going to sit up very nicely for Vivers at full-back and goes round. Brown with a lovely little side step and makes good ground to the 20-metre line.
Yes, he's an excellent utility player, Vivers, obviously, this season. Well, Salford penalised for not lining up at the play of the ball. But as you said before, Steve, about the crowd, quite a healthy crowd assembled. Perhaps a few more if we'd have played on Sunday. Obviously, the game rearranged for last Sunday, with you being involved with Wigan on the Saturday. But obviously noticeable that the old pie eaters, they haven't got a midweek game, haven't they? And after tonight, there'll be three games in hand. But I think they still pick and choose when they want to play, Steve. One rule for one and one for them. One rule for all the rest, and still for Wigan. But it's Gus O'Donnell, flicks it out, Chris Joint. Makes yardage, comes into the Salford half. Tommy Hodgkinson moves it left. Gus O'Donnell looking for the gap. David Young quickly in. John Neal now, block-busting run, makes the yardage and slips the ball out. Adam Fogarty juggles with it. Forber comes in and completes the tackle on him. Salford all offside on the referee's left. Sonny Nicol taken through, last one of the sequence now. The referee looking. They all move back this time. John Griffiths puts a tester up. Gary Jack shouldn't have any problem, but Saints are going to put him under pressure. Gus O'Donnell follows up, but no problem. Excellent under the high ball, Gary Jack, and now Salford back in possession. Looks like Paul O'Neill off the wing.
Yeah, and Gary Jack as reliable as ever, and there's one lost at the play of the ball. So kicking out at the play of the ball, and Saints back in possession.
Well, John Neal, he struck at that ball. He's the finest exponent I've seen in the league, Steve, of this striking for the ball. Once the ball's on the ground, it's open for grabs, and he does it to perfection. Saints trailing 4 points to 0, looking to get back as Fogarty goes for the corner, the left wing. Tommy Hodgkinson attacked in half-back. Saints will move it along the line. Griffiths moving across. Well, the ball's still loose. Phil Beavers knocks it forward. difficult conditions, but there it was squoze out the ball. Salford put pressure on him, he couldn't take it cleanly, and it'd be scrum down, Salford feed.
Yeah, and it was Saints having the clear advantage, then looking and recognising they got men over on this side, but the Salford defensive attacking pressure perhaps just forced the error, but a let-off for Salford as they now have the chance to bring it clear. Critchley in the centre today. Marsden running strongly, and the fans love those sorts of surging runs from the forwards. Forwards getting faster and faster every season in rugby league. Like this man, Richard Webster, look, striding out of one tackle. Leading the second man, he almost scored, made a good try. Now a little kick ahead, but now the chase is on for that. Taken down, and the referee saying that he handled that. I think Phil Beavers is claiming he was controlling it with his feet. The referee saw it differently. How did you see it, Ron?
Well, I can tell you definitely, Steve, that wasn't a knock-on, because you were compatriots here at Backham who never even shouted for it, and they'd be shouting for everything throughout the game. But anyway, the referee's giving us a knock-on. Salford have possession, 20 metres from the Saints line, and they're putting pressure on.
Yep, and pressure, if they can turn this to points, very, very important if they're going to win this game. Peter Williams gets his pass away, Salford going forward. Sean on to Paul Farber, 1-to-1. The tackling up. Oh, superb rugby league football. Oh, that was absolutely magnificent. It was Sean Brown onto Paul Farber. And Paul Farber was looking for the opening. It was 1-to-1. He took fullback Phil Beavers, and then there was a man in support. And that man went over to score for Salford, and that man was Bob Marsden. Oh, he'll love that. Superb try. It was rugby league as it should be played. The men in possession being backed up by the men in support, and where better to score the try but so near to the post. And what a good try that is for Salford. Their second of the evening, and again coming after a period of Saints pressure up at the other end. And so with 24 minutes gone, Salford are 8-0 in the lead.
Yes, right under the stick stay, as you said. Good pressure. Farber instrumental again. He's playing out of his skin, but good backing up. Blakely comes to convert it. He does, pops it right between the sticks. Excellent start as far as Salford are concerned. 24 minutes gone on the watch, and now 10 points to 0 in the lead. An uphill battle for the Saints, and a lot of the pundits were saying that the Wigan game had taken a lot out of Salford, but obviously not. 10-0 in the lead, and looking good value for the money.
Yep, certainly no sign of it. Whether as the game goes on the legs will tire a little, but that will remain to be seen. Certainly we know that this Salford team is as fit as any that we've ever seen at the Willows. And again, that's the second time a kick-off has gone out of play, and that is obviously an intended tactic if it can be achieved. And so it's the scrum just inside the 20. So maybe you sometimes wonder whether an extra game is a disadvantage, but on the other hand, is not playing 1 week a disadvantage to that team as well, do you think? 10 days since the last game.
You never know. I mean, perhaps the rest does you good occasionally, but obviously keeping at it, and it's not all that. It's only 10 days since Saints played, isn't it? So
that's not long, is it? That's true. New Year's... Oh, look at David Young. When you said not played since New Year's Day, it sounded a long time ago. Yeah. But Salford coming forward strongly again, and Farber gets his pass on, and Marsden in support again. Richard Webber takes that ball very, very well, and comes forward, looks to run strongly in the middle of the park. Salford made good ground in this play. Brown going through dummies and tries to get through, and it needs the best of the tackling from Saints to prevent him getting clear. Where Mark Lee's going to go forward again. He does that, and he puts in a good kick. It's going to run to touch. It does just that, and Salford again putting St Helens on the defensive and making St Helens play this game from inside their own half, which is good for Salford. 10-0. 10-0. 27 minutes gone. And this evening the scrums are just not quite the normal in and out, are they? There's something, a little bit of intensity going on in there, do you think?
Yes, there's a lot of battle in there, isn't there, with these big packs of forwards, and Salford looking to put Saints under a lot of pressure, which obviously they have been doing. And Saints come away with the ball from the scrum. They've got to get back on the board. Paul Loughlin pops it up. Another unforced error inside the Saints 20-metre area, and it puts Salford back on the charge. Saints are not doing the tackling, Steve, not stopping the ball.
Oh, but Salford looking to capitalise on this, and how disappointing that a move that was starting so promising, that Saints were perhaps a little bit slow all on the right-hand side for the Saints defence, that there was perhaps an overlap for Salford on the far side, has come to an end because of that forward pass. Salford need to capitalise on Saints' mistakes because there's a long way to go in this game. Saints are a very, very good team, a much higher position in the league than Salford. But so far it's Salford that have scored the 2 tries of the evening. But Saints looking to come forward as they have done. Good play from this for Saints, Ron.
Yeah, it's a good patch. They're bringing the ball forward. Obviously, these lot at the back of me, Steve, they've just got one eye like I have. But Tommy Hodgkinson making good yard. He's looking for support. Sonny Nichols there. Oh, watch him put the speed down there. Puts the gas pedal 10 metres short of the line. The last tackle of the sequence. Saints should move it left. They are doing. John Griffiths, long ball. Loughlin. Oh, terrible pass. Out to Tony Sullivan. And cries for a forward pass from behind me, but it's the turnover. It's going to be the 6th tackle. But Saints moving it on the last tackle, put Salford back in possession. Saints are going to try and contain them in their own 20-metre area, but it's still Salford 10, Saints 0.
And we were saying how well Saints were playing. That break from Sonny Nicholl was brilliant. He really shifted over the first 20 metres, but in actual fact you've got to give full credit to the Salford defence because they caught him and stopped him. It was Critchley that absolutely, yeah, and it was a good strong tackle from Critchley, put him down and prevented what would have been a certain try. And Salford looking to play rugby from everywhere. Had Blakely seen a space? That's great to see. To go on his own. Wonderful from Blakely. That lad's got growing in confidence again every game, and he's got the pace to go after that injury. And superb from him, and there's a little kick ahead. Sean Brown is going to chase it. Williams is backing off, and Saints have to go right back and just bring it clear. But a wonderful break from Blakely, even though he's still carrying that knock. And Salford now keeping Saints way down inside their own 20. So we've gone from one end of the field to the other.
Yes, end-to-end stuff, Steve. There's no danger about that. But once again, Saints caught lacking, not completing the not doing the tackling, not smothering the man with the ball. But Saints on the break again. Now it's Sullivan. Can he take the man on the outside? He's down the wing. He comes in and out. Tries to bring Gary Jack in. But Saints moving upfield 60 metres and held down in the tackle. Clearly held down in the tackle. Gary Jack, a professional foul, held him down to let Salford get back on side. Obviously the Salford spectators don't like it at the back, but they're going to have to put up with it, aren't they? But good pressure there, which is exciting, Steve. It's end-to-end stuff, there's no danger. But Saints with another set of 6 after being awarded that penalty, and 20 metres to the Salford line, looking to put the first points on the board. But good tackling. As I said, Saints have been caught lax. They've not been smothering the man on the ball, and they've got to make sure that it counts. New coach, Eric Hughes, no doubt he'll read the riot act at half-time. The tackling is important, and that's how Salford have been throwing the ball about, getting the breaks. Adam Fogarty. See there, man and ball, excellent tackle there. Superb tackle. Peter Williams moves in. Tommy Hodgkinson attacked in half-back. Griffiths works the loop movement there with O'Donnell. He comes back now. John Neal, support there. Sonny Nicholl takes it again. Nicholl chips through. Nicholl chips again. The ball, will it run dead? Gary Jack. He just lets it go dead. But the idea was right by Sonny Nicholl. It just didn't come off. But good pressure by Saints again. It gives Salford with a tap restart from the centre of the 20-metre. Phil Ford takes it off Mark Lee.
Oh, what exciting playing. You really have got to give full praise to the Salford defence, because Saints were all not Richard Webster looking as though he might have created an opening. But Salford, oh, and there he knows the game already, doesn't he just? Excellent play from him. Deserve applause from the Salford fans. And Salford have now made the substitution. Blakely, after that break and the earlier knock, obviously been in some difficulty, and Salford looking to move this ball on every occasion like that. Still getting it away. Mark Lee inside. David Young, superb, and he stands out at one tackle. He still goes forward onto Gary Jack. Oh, brilliant play from Salford. They're looking to pass on at every occasion. Mark Lee's going forward. and he's going ahead, and he's chasing it. The chase is on, the ball is just hanging and hanging. Phil Vivers, the pro that he is, coolly picks it up, but the chase superb. And Mark Lee really did well to contain him there. You would have thought that all the signs were that Vivers could have raced away from that, do you think, Ron?
Well, could have done, but it seems quite boggy, doesn't it, at the back of both in-goal areas. So obviously difficult, and you don't want to fumble it, especially when you've had a couple of fumbles. But good work from Mark Lee. Saw the gap, Steve. Saw there was nobody at home. Chipped it through. Put Vivers under pressure. And now Salford have ball back.
And on the 20, not the best of dropouts. And Andy Burgess going through strongly. This is brilliant from Salford, right to the 10-metre line. Oh, and he's almost there. Superb run from that man, and he's so close to the line. Phil Ford's looking for somebody. That somebody is well tackled, 2 metres or less short from the line by Saints. Real Salford pressure. Can they make it tell? Oh, the defence good by Saints. The ball dropped and lost, and the referee. And Salford still have possession. And Andy Burgess is in the standoff position. Peter Williams out there. So another 6 for Salford. A real chance now if they can consolidate and capitalise on this position here. Toro going in strongly. So it's a forward for a half-back. It's sad to see Steve Blakely getting that injury, playing so well, but Salford still moving the ball with a lot of confidence. And Critchley on the burst, but the Saints defence superb at this stage. O'Donnell miles offside, and the referee picking him out very clearly. So will Salford go for the 4 points, or will they go for the goal? They're in a very strong attacking position. They've not got their regular first choice kicker on. Steve Blakely now gone off, but in Sean Brown they have as good an understudy as you could hope for. And well, perhaps that was a little bit of gamesmanship from O'Donnell as well there. Let's say it was enthusiasm. I'm not as outspoken as you, and I give him all the benefit of the doubt. It was really wanting to stop Salford scoring then. But certainly that change on the Salford side is going to disrupt things a little bit, because tonight Steve Blakely has been playing very, very well, having had a lot of good matches recently, and we've seen that superb break from him. And the conversion, the penalty attempt successful, and that's the important thing. Salford have put the pressure on, and they come back with points on the board, and at 12-0 in the lead. It really is a good position to be in. 35 minutes into the first half. So it'll be interesting to see who does go to the standoff position for Salford. Perhaps it'll be Peter Williams, I would imagine. The Saints have to get things underway again, and it's the same tactic. Sean Brown this time controls it very nicely. Onto O'Neill, scorer of Salford's first try. He makes good yards, good play from him before he's pulled back onto the 20 line. Richard Webster, he's having a tremendous debut in the first team.
Get him onside, ref!
Putting pressure on these Salford forwards to keep the places, and Bob Marston playing well and gets his pass on, and Mark Lee's there in support, and Forber's there, pushes one man off. That one man was O'Donnell, but then there were 3 others to bring him down. Applause from the fans, deserved and rightly so. And Phil Ford wanting to go on his own. Oh, and so close to getting clear, but the tacklers a match for him. And Mark Lee with the kick. It's high and it's long and it's running and running. And is it going to find touch? No, it isn't, and it has to be played. So superb kick from Mark Lee, and Salford inside Saints territory, although Saints in possession.
Yeah, good tactical work though by Mark Lee. Obviously his hallmark, this kicking for position. Saints had to play it, and Salford have put Saints under a lot of pressure in their own 20-metre area. Oh, John Griffiths took it well there. On to Sonny Nicol. It's essential that Saints get points on the board before the half-time interval, but there's only 4 minutes left of this half. It's certainly gone quick. It's been all one-way traffic. Salford have capitalised on the few chances, obviously, that's come their way, and that's why Saints are 12-0 down with 4 minutes to play. Phil Vivers puts it downfield. Obviously, doesn't seem a lot of breeze, Steve, but it seemed to blow back there, didn't it?
Yes, it certainly did, and O'Neill taking advantage of that bounce, which fell very nicely for him, and he's made good ground. As has Bob Marsden, needing a lot of attention from the Saints defenders to stop him getting clear. And Phil Ford over there looking to create an opening. And Salford again inside the Saints 20. And can they score? Important time if they can. Another try now would be very important. David Young doing well, very sensibly, but then getting his pass away. And Richard Webster running strongly. Oh, superb run from him. Oh, a tremendous debut he's having, so prominent in everything. Real chance for Salford, but Williams having to be alert because that ball went back, but it's dropped. And now Saints all of a sudden have an opportunity. If Ian Pickavans could get clear, but he can't. And eventually he's brought down, so some relief there for Saints from a position that Salford could well have capitalised on and scored, and Saints perhaps relieved that Salford didn't, and Salford may, we hope as the game goes on, don't rue that attacking position, but it certainly was a real chance to put more points on the board.
Well, it was a good chance. They looked well, they looked, you know, they're running well, the confidence obviously going right throughout the side. The ball came back to Williams. Well, there's the breeze. Look at it. There must be a bit of breeze out there, Steve. Yeah, but it's not bad up here, is it? We're taking the ball in there. Peter Williams not taking off the ball, but harried by Ian Pickavans. The sheer ferocity of the tackle shook the ball out of his hands. Pickavans picked it up and drove forward, and was finally adjudged to have been held down in the tackle. It's a scrum down. It's knock-on's been given. As Sonny Nicol couldn't control it. The referee didn't see anything. It just seemed to flick out from here, but obviously divine guidance from the touch judge on the far side, Steve, and a scrum down with the Salford feed. But it's all Salford, and obviously they're looking for more points before the half-time interval, aren't they?
They certainly are, and Andy Burgess is one of the men who's going to try and get those points, but not that time. Tackles strongly. Here's another man who wants the points. Phil Ford. Always a lively character, always in with a chance of creating something. One of the Saints players is down there, and Bob Marsden doing the same. And creating the chance, and is he getting his pass on? He is. Superb from Salford. Taro coming outside, back inside. Oh, but unfortunately the move comes to naught. Oh, an incident off the ball then, so the referee will pull it back. The Saints with a chance on this side. The referee's allowing play to go on. He's seen that the move's over, and this thing all of a sudden threatening to get a little bit out of hand. Forber stepping in there between Phil Ford, and I regret to say it's one of the Salford players that's going to be pulled out after that incident over that side. Not sure which one it was, and it would be a pity if that were to happen, because it's not been a dirty game, it's not been a niggly game, it's been a tough, fair game of rugby league so far. But who's being pulled out? Well, he's talking to Mark Lee. Well, I didn't think of all the players it was Mark Lee, because Mark Lee is certainly not a player who's noted for any indiscretions at all. But seen by the linesman. But exciting play again, Salford. It was Marsden and then Toro who went forward. But the final pass going to Saints, giving Saints the chance to do something before half-time.
Yes, Toro had the ball and he looked to pass it back inside. He did, and Gus O'Donnell was there. There's the half-time hooter, Steve. 12 points to nil, Salford in the lead, and good value for the lead. The Saints tackling has left a lot to be desired. Instead of stopping man and ball, the Saints have been going low on the man, but obviously the ball not smothered round the top. Salford moving it out, keeping the ball alive. Good play from them, and well worthy of the 12 points to nil lead.
Yep, so the question will be, will last Saturday have taken something out of the team, or so will they tire in the second half, or will they be able to maintain the momentum? We hope so. But great news for Salford and Red Devils fans at half-time. It's Salford 12, St Helens 0.
Richard. Right.
Any changes on your side? No.
Roll them when you want, Steve.
So rugby league continues to be a game that's getting better and better. End-to-end stuff. It's 12-0 to Salford. It could so easily have been 12 all Saints. Not as bad as Ron was suggesting by any means, having their chance, and they've got a lot of match winners amongst their teams. Sonny Nicol in the forwards, Jonathan Griffiths and so on, as Salford get the game underway for the second half. 12-0 in the lead, 40 minutes to go. And if we see a second half that's as good as the first half, then we're in for a continuing treat tonight. But Saints with the early possession.
Yes, Chris, joint now. And I just hope that we get the run of the mill in the second half, as witnessed did the second half of the New Year's Day game. That was a two-half job. Forward! But Sonny Nicol taking it well. Pinpoint pass from Gus O'Donnell. Tommy Hodd attacked in half-back. He moves it to the right. Well, that looked a little high, didn't it, as he came through? But it must have been round the chest. Paul Farber. On to Paul Loughlin, gives it plenty of oomph. Saints playing with the breeze to the back, and Gary Jack takes it well.
Gary Jacks takes those balls so easily, you just forget how difficult it is to handle a rugby league ball. That was coming at a great speed from a great height in the floodlights, and he made it look so easy. Took it cleanly, and Salford now in possession, though, looking to go forward as they have done in the first half, and will continue to. Richard Webster doing just that, pushing one man off, staying on his feet, still standing, he's needing three Saints forwards to put him down. Warming to this game, Richard Webster. He'll be glad to have his first full game under his belt. And Salford still getting the play on. Phil Ford dodging and weaving and creating space, gets his pass on to Marsden. But the tackle complete, and we get into the last one, and the kick will come in. Good deep kick going straight to Steve Prescott over there, who runs it clear.
Yes, Saints now, let's see what they can do with the possession just outside their own 20-metre area. Phil Vivers takes it well, an awkward pass. Salford meet him. Solid tackling and solid defence as far as Salford are concerned. Saints got to get their act together in this second half. Andy Dannett shrugs off. Toro comes in, and he has a second bite of the cherry, does Toro. Also Bob Marsden in at the tackle. Tommy Hodgkinson from the acting half-back saw the gap, drove for it. Makes good yardage, brought down right on the halfway line. John Griffiths takes up the acting half-back position. And Gus O'Donnell now onto Sonny Nicol. A lot of running from Sonny this evening. But good cover tackling by Salford, the last tackle of this sequence. Let's see what the plan ploy is. Gus O'Donnell chips it for Gary Jack. Hangs in the mud. Griffiths follows it up. Puts pressure on Gary Jack as Griffiths made the kick, and Salford back in possession.
Good chase from Saints that time. But Toro in the right place to force himself onto the 20-metre line. And Critchley not had the running chances recently. Critchley not scored for about a month now. He'll be looking to put that right if he can tonight. Bob Marsden.
With him.
Tattled 10 metres outside the 20. Salford looking to work this ball clear, doing it controlled. Like that, Gary Jack seen a space, and he's got the legs to go through it. Now superb run. It's the support. Phil Ford's inside. Gary Jack couldn't see him, but magnificent break from Phil Ford, and Salford on the attack. Little kick through. It ricochets round, and surely that's offside. Unintended, maybe. But unfortunate, certainly a natural instinct for every player to want to pick the ball up. But unfortunately, the rule doesn't allow any discretion in that situation, does it? And so it's a penalty to Salford, and Salford really on the attack again in Saints 20. Superb break from Gary Jack coming from deep. And really Salford looking to go forward, but the Saints defence good. 10 metres from the line though Salford are. A try here really would be an important score for Salford so early in the second half. Inside one to David Young, running strongly. That 8 metres from the line. Sean Brown looking for Forber. Long pass out to and it's dropped, and now it's a chance for Saints from nothing. Unless the left Laughlin's put down, he can go the length of the field. So a chance coming to nothing. The pass just a little bit too ambitious, and it's Saints' turn to bring it away.
But John Neal's lost the ball, Steve, and David Young picks it up, so Young's got a good drive there.
Oh, superb. These Salford forwards are getting better and better. Mark Lee's going as well, another 10 metres. David Young driving forward there, enormous force and strength. Can it be converted into points? O'Neill in each other's way. Andy Burgess going and going and going. I'm going, looking inside. No, he's still going. Now it's David Young again, getting his legs into motion on that side. And Salford going so near to that St Helens line. So much good things about this Salford performance. Who's going on the charge? It's Paul Forber. Pushes him out of the way, and he must be only inches short of that line. What will the play be? Oh, it's a long pass out. And it looked for a minute as though Richard Webster might have scored then, but he stopped just short of the line. Is it Richard Webster? No, it's Bob Marston. It comes back to Phil Ford for the drop goal. Oh dear. Well, it was the right idea. 1 point could have been important, but that one would have been not out of place at Old Trafford. But the ideas were right.
Oh yes, excellent idea. Obviously to give the margin, isn't it? The 12-point gap, but another point. Obviously the Saints are in trouble. But Tony Sullivan there trying to thread his way through. Gets it away to Ian Pickavance. Had an excellent game tonight, Pickavance, both in attack and defence. But Tommy Hodgkinson from acting half-back on to John Griffith. Saints moving it to the right. Pickavance again. Long ball to Steve Prescott. Into space, Prescott kicks it and then forced into touch by Phil Ford. The referee right on the job.
Penalising him.
Yes, he has. He's penalised him, Steve, as you say. Prescott had kicked it and Ford allegedly pushed him into touch. Obviously difficult for us to pick out actually on the far side. But obviously contact was made and the referee adjudged that he impeded Steve Prescott. Blistering pace, this lad. Saints looking for the first score. 10 metres from the Salford line. But lying too deep. Dannett driving the ball up. Now the Saints attack will have to come into position. Ball handling will have to be imperative. Well, it's a penalty to the Saints. Salford weren't lining up. He was impeded. Mark Lee had to play the ball. I don't know whether you picked that out, Steve. He was impeding him. A chance for Saints, and whether they'll go for the 2 points or not, I don't know, but definitely a penalty.
Yeah, the referee very clear in that decision, and the frustration from the home fans is that they obviously believe Mark Lee won the ball fairly. Referee thought otherwise, and it's his decision that matters. And the first opportunity for Saints this evening, no, it's not. It's not the first penalty attempt. The first one that they had in the opening few minutes of the game hit the post, but surely Laughlin won't miss from right in front and only 10 metres from the posts. We've had a cracking second half so far, Ron, haven't we? It's either end. Well, Salford could have scored at 8 minutes, and I love it.
First half, Steve. Yeah. It was exciting. It was exciting as far as you were concerned, anyway.
Yep, 2 points to Saints, 12-2, and that fans loving this one, making a lot of noise. 8 minutes into the second half. And Saints in possession.
Yes, Brown kicks off and Pickavance playing well, striding out well and still pumping the legs, going forward, made good yardage, did well on the wing when he came on New Year's Day. A substitution for Steve Prescott. And he takes some pulling down, doesn't he? There's no danger. Saints moving it left, Andy Dannett driving it up the centre. Good yardage, but excellent tackling by Salford. Tommy Hodd moves it left. Now it's with Chris Joint, looking for that chink, or the very slight chink in the Salford armour. Not been many. Paul Loughlin, short ball to Griffiths. Only Jack to beat. Griffiths rounds him. Drives up, throws it in field. Sullivan's there. Can Sullivan move it to the left? He can't, but can't move it to the right, I should say, but he's held down. 10 metres short. Saints move it right. Griffiths, Beavers, good ball. Well, it said good ball, but he couldn't take it. It looks as though he just slightly overrun Phil Beavers, and another mistake for the Saints. He was on the sixth tackle, and he's ruled the turnover, Steve.
Well, that's what happens at the sixth tackle. He dropped the ball, and it was excellent attack from Saints. Jonathan Griffiths creating the opening, and the play continued. But the Salford defence, it got itself together absolutely brilliantly, and that really has been a feature of so many of Salford's recent games. That defence, which has worked so hard to prevent opponents from scoring. Oh, Richard Webster did well to hold on that in the second attempt, and here they are themselves working the ball clear. Mark Lee's going forward, and Sean Brown onto Phil Ford, but tripping just at a vital stage. And Saints may well look back and think that there was an opportunity gone missing. Gone begging in that previous six, but we've got to the end of the Salford six now, and they're still inside their own territory. Brown's there for the kick. It's a good long deep kick, but going straight to Vivers at full back.
Yes, obviously, as you said, Steve, they can look back on it, but the Salford defence held firm. Very adventurous. Griffiths with only the full back to beat, but support was there. But as Loughlin drives through, looking well, Paul Loughlin. And Salford hanging back just as Saints hung back and let Salford run at them in the first half. Salford seem to be doing it now, but John Neal, pushed back 15 metres. Excellent tackling by the Salford forwards there. 4 of them quickly in on John Neal. That's no mean feat, pushing Neal back, is it? They move it left now. Adam Fogarty running out wide. Lost possession. Sean Brown picks it up. And Fogarty in a lot of discomfort there. He's gone down and he's injured.
Yes, you've got to have every sympathy. Always Neil trying to find a way through. Every sympathy for a player who releases the ball rather than drops it because of an injury. And it just gives us a minute actually to get our breath, because that Saints pressure was first class. A change on the Salford side. Richard Webster earning deserved applause from the Salford fans for a superb effort from him in his first game. First start with the first team. Not his first game, he's been on as substitute before. But this is always a sad sight to see. It was, I think the fact that he got rid of the ball when he went down, it was, I don't think there's anything untoward in the tackle run. It's just one of those things that happens in a physical...
It looks as though, he's holding his leg there, so... it looks quite serious, but as you say, just went through, had possession, looks as though he'd slipped. Whether he'd got his foot stuck in the mud, just twisted it or what, we don't know. But obviously the man's in a lot of discomfort, and Saints are going to bring on Sean Casey, a youngster out of the A team. He's on the transfer list at present, £30,000. Excellent competitor, Sean Casey, can play in more or less every position in the side, and he'll not let the side down. He'll just blend in. I think they just put him straight in the second row, or they may move him to loose forward and put Chris Joint in the second row. He is loose forward or plays hooker, as I say, can play anywhere, Sean Casey. But Adam Fogarty there, obviously in a lot of discomfort, and as we say, something we don't like to see on the rugby ground.
I think we also have to congratulate the ambulance men. They're out there very, very quickly.
Yeah. I think it's a broken leg, Steve.
Some suggestions around about that it could be as bad as a broken leg, and that is always a sad sight. It's one of the risks of a physical contact game, but the stretcher was out very, very quickly for him. The ambulance is standing by, and if he has to go to hospital, he'll be there at Hope Hospital in just a very few minutes. And sympathetic and appreciative applause from all the spectators. What we see is a very physical sport, a lot of physical contact.
I must correct myself, Steve. I thought it was Sean Casey. I was presuming it was Sean Casey coming on, but actually it's Mike Riley that's come on for Adam Fogarty. Especially after me giving Sean that good build-up, we find out it's Mike Riley.
So generous applause from the Salford fans. Nobody likes to see a man go off injured. Richard Webster, he can look back with great pleasure at his first outing. And there's Marston going forward and still going forward. Superb run from him, just won't be put down. So O'Connor on the... Salford still looking to find the openings. That penalty from St Helens will remind them that 12-2 is not a victory as yet. It's a useful lead at this stage of the game, but there's a long way to go. And we've got to the last one. Mark Lee. Oh, nice little dummy, still going. Oh, but pulled down just 10 metres short, and it's the handover. We were all looking for the pass from Mark Lee, and he made a lot of ground whilst he was dummying then.
He did, and it was a superb dummy, Steve, wasn't it? Yes, he did us as well. I thought he'd let the ball go. But Mike Riley in there in the centre, and Ian Pickavance in the second row, and here he comes again, Pickavance. Gets the ball away to John Griffiths. Sage looking to spread it, and Griffiths there battling and probing. But Pickavance, for me, he's been excellent in the Saints side this evening. John Neal takes the ball up, and partisan spectators at the back of us shouting for a forward pass, and they shout for anything here, don't they? Jove. You can't blame them though, can you? They'll go to Homesters. John takes it out onto Gus O'Donnell. The ball's lost. Farber picks it up. Quickly wrapped up there by Mike Riley, but Salford on the attack again.
And that was from a drop ball from Saints again. And Fulber eager to get that one and get moving. Salford working the short side. Oh, but there's one. There's a surprising unforced error from Salford that time. We've not seen many of those in recent matches. And Peter Williams, of all people. Peter Williams playing so well this season. And now penalised as Saints have the chance to breathe a little. That drop ball from Saints came after a good spell from them where they really put their passes together without, well, nobody was quite lined up 10 metres away then. Oh, and this is what Saints are doing so well now, they're getting the ball away.
Yes, and they've got to do it, haven't they? Salford have been doing it all the match, and it's about time Saints got their act together. There's 15 minutes gone of the second half. They're trailing by 12 points to 2 as Dannett takes it up the centre. It's been an exciting game, there's been end-to-end stuff, there's been some excellent rugby. Unfortunately, as far as I'm concerned, it's all been on Salford's side. Loughlin on a diagonal run in a big gap, looking for runners, but solid tackling again. Forb around the top. But it's Saints now looking for points. Tony Sullivan took a knock and Saints temporarily down to 12 men. Joint up the middle, only one to beat. Oh, support on either side, but he couldn't get it away. Now he's with Pickavans. Can he squeeze over? He's driving, yes. Can he touch down? He's held short home, forced back. Solid tackling there by Salford. Excellent tackling. But Pickavans, Saints best players by far. Griffiths, short ball there, oh, couldn't take it. Sonny Nickel couldn't take it. Salford scoop up the loose ball, and can they break quickly?
So yet another chance gone for Saints' point of view, but from the Salford point of view, what superb defence yet again. Absolutely magnificent. Never say die. Even if the man's gone past you, get back and tackle him. And Salford have done that absolutely superbly, and they can look back on that spell of play with enormous pride and credit for that attitude of tackling everything that moves. Superb defence from Salford. And Bob Marsden going forward again, and Salford in their 6 have got inside the Saints half. That really is positive, decisive running from them. Short pass on now, great pass on. Where's Ford? He's there, and Ford's running. He's got support, the kick ahead. Critchley's there, he's going to bounce nicely, and he scores right by the post. Superb display from Salford, and yet again, it's a counter-attack from the Saints attack. The defence of Salford has translated on the 6th tackle to controlled, positive rugby league, creating the opening. In the end of the move, it was Phil Ford who kicks ahead and judged it to perfection. It was Critchley chasing up, had to just knock it over the line and dive on the ball right by the posts. Oh, Salford, that was brilliant. Those fans know it. That good. It really is that good. When you think that we've lost 9 times this season, we're on this roll of 8 out of 10 victories. It's so good to see.
You get on with it, Steve, because I'd get on with it. There'd be no danger about that, but it's a killer blow as far as the Saints are concerned. Good play there from Ford on the last tackle. This is the annoying part. It's the last tackle. All you've got to do is close the man down. He came through, he kicked it through. Critchley running, backing up, and touchdown, won the chase under the sticks. Whether the referee was thinking of giving a penalty against the Saints for Ford, but he looked as though he run into Phil Vivers as he came through. But good backing up there by Critchley, an excellent competitor. 18-2 now, well, about 20 minutes to go, and Saints certainly at the wrong end of the on the cosh. But Sean Casey has come on now, and I just don't know. Anthony Sullivan has gone off, so Riley will switch over to the wing, a reshuffle again.
And Phil Ford wanting to be in the play, wanting that ball, and in actual fact Phil Ford had options opens. He could have passed to Critchley. Critchley was in absolutely the right place, and there's Paul O'Neill. We saw him score that first try, and there he's only on the opposite wing looking for possession. And Gary Jack wanting to go, and he does do. Oh, fans love to see that sort of gritty determination from their players, and that's what they're seeing from the Salford tonight. Lovely inside pass to Forber, very high tackle, rightly penalised. Forber won't like that. He can look after himself, but that really was a very high tackle. Russell Smith blowing for it absolutely straight away. Who's he pulling out?
Andy Dannett it was, but it's a good job he didn't connect, didn't it, Steve? But one thing, you know, He's given him 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, I didn't think he did connect, but obviously he's given him 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Well, you know what a tough guy Paul Forber is. You've seen him for so long that Forber can shrug off things like that. And so things going Salford's way again, not only on the scoring, but a little bit of high tackling there. And Saints down to 12 men now. Can Salford convert this one-man superiority and into point? Oh, and there's the Forber again involved. Nice little play, but that one's dropped. And so the fans a little bit incensed, thinking the referee should have played on, but the first knock-on will be given, and an opportunity gone and wasted that time for Salford on the very first play. But 12-2 up. Oh, sorry, 18-2 up. 18. Look at that push, and one against the head. Superb play. Oh, magnificent, magnificent. That's what's that tackle, but the play still goes on. Critchley out this side, going back inside, running and running forward. You don't see many against the head.
No, you don't, but the scrums have been really pushed hard tonight, haven't they? The forwards have been putting everything into it, and I'm not surprised that
Oh, look at that. Oh, brilliant try. Terry O'Connor wouldn't be put down. He stood on his face, gritty determination, and he saw that line. He might have been 7 or 8 metres from it when he got the ball. He looked as though he wanted to pass it on, but he didn't. He kept on his feet, and he was round and round, and in the end he saw the line, threw himself over for Salford's second try in 3 minutes and weeks. And let's hope that we see the fans, more and more of them here at the Willows. Superb play at the 2 more conversion. Oh boy, 24-2.
I'm sorry about that whittering on there, Steve. Just when you wouldn't have expected him to score, would you? But a great try there by O'Connor. Just come on, fresh man. Full marks for persistence. And 24 points to 2. Well, I think Salford, obviously they want to come again and they want to rub salt in the Saints' wounds, and full marks for their performance this evening.
Absolutely, absolutely. So much confidence. Forward one way, then the other. Ducking underneath, but no way through that time. Oh boy, what superb performance. Excellent try from Terry O'Connor. Fresh legs, as you say, and a young man still made the first team spot his own this season. And with tries like that, you can see why. And there he goes again. But grounded this time by Saints. Sean Brown running and gets his pass on. Marsden snaps it up, runs, sensibly holds on in the end. But that 6 from Salford previously was absolutely magnificent. And Toro wanting to run on his own, makes 10 more metres. And the referee is saying that he dropped the ball and knocked it on. So that will be a scrum, and they put into Saints.
Yeah, it didn't look as though he'd lost the ball from here, Steve, but the referee's right on the job. He's down there.
Get the bloody ball in!
Scrum down, and Sean Brown penalised for mouthing. Obviously he said something out of turn to the referee. Salford pushing, and as they did last time, nearly well, they took one against the head, looking to take it again.
Try, yeah.
Yes, of course it did. But
one advantage, the push.
That's right. But the pack, they've been pushing all evening, Steve, and full marks to them. They wanted to do it again. The ball wasn't fed. Saints have possession now, looking for the first 4-pointer. 20 metres from the Salford line. Sonny Nicol running it straight. He's run hard and straight, but Andy Danatov for 10 minutes, and obviously that goes against the run of play. Gus O'Donnell bringing in Ian Pickervance. Been outstanding this evening, Pickervance, for the Saints. He plays it to himself, but
Why don't you give him a try?
Salford penalised, holding the man at the play of the ball, impeding his progress. And Saints will take a quick tap, as they are doing. John Neal driving it up, solid tackling by Salford. Neal turns in the tackle, but good clamp tackling there. Griffiths slips it inside Chris Joint, loses his footing, but drives again, hands and knees.
Move it out right, they've got to score. Move it out right.
Saints now move it along. John Griffiths, well, short ball there, nearly intercepted by Brown.
Well tackled,
But solid tackling by the Salford outfit, forcing the Saints back.
Chance of scoring it.
Tommy Hodgkinson, well, Saints keep it going. It's now with Phil Vevers. Gus O'Donnell, well, can't take it, and the ball's loose. Pickavance kicks it through, but Critchley gathers it.
Oh, again, it's amazing, isn't it? So much this slackness in the St Helens attacks really has cost them tries and position and possession. And Salford are looking to snap it up. O'Neill going round into the middle, trying to create a bit of space over that side. And it's Salford in 2 plays have brought it. Oh, superb! And Andy Burgess is on the run. Can he make it? Where's the support? Oh, so unlucky. So unlucky, Andy Burgess. Great run, great support play. Forber in front, and Bob Marston going strongly. Looking for a man, he's got it. Mark Lee looking over that side. Dummy one way. Oh, dropping the ball, snapping.
But he's running well, isn't he? In your side, there's no danger about that. Well, all the forwards are running well. Once you're on a roll, as you say, you're backing up, your confidence comes. Now Sean Casey driving it up. Slipped into the right centre berth, and Mike Riley over onto the left wing. Chris Joint just losing his footing, tries to squeeze it away. Tommy Hodgkinson was pushed off the ground, off the ball, but Salford have it.
Yet again. Oh, Williams trying to sell the dummy. Oh, but now Williams has dropped it, and it's Saints back in possession. Mark Lee seems as though he's got a little knockdown here.
Yes, a bit of poor handling there, but John Neal turns it out. Now with Tommy Hodgkinson. Unfortunate, just a minute or so before, I thought he'd been slightly impeded in his efforts to get the loose ball, but it went to Salford, and then they lost possession. It went back to Saints. They still have it. Off Ian Pickavance's knees. He pushes it back, but Salford now.
Unforced error, and Salford snaffle up possession again. These Salford players playing with so much confidence, so positive, looking for more points. Nobody more so than that man, Gary Jack, making an important 10 metres forward. Critchley's behind, wanting the ball in. Forber wants it. He goes forward. Straley shrugs men off. Oh, lovely dummy. Still on his feet. Finally taken down. If the ball had gone, I think Burgess would have been tackled. Now it's going left. Are the men over? Sean Brown's going forward on his own. So close to that line. Nice little dummy from him. The Saints defenders were expecting the pass, it didn't come. Long pass out. Peter Williams back inside, and Chris Taro is there. Superb rugby league football. The long pass out to Peter Williams. Peter Williams through his defender, put it back inside, and Chris Taro loved that one. Superb try for him. And can you believe it? Salford are getting better and better, and another try. And let's just be quiet and listen to the fans shouting Salford.
But it's gone the other way, hasn't it? They've come back after that bitter defeat against Wigan and taken the Saints apart. Brown there just pulled it short, but 28 points to 2, and what have we got? About 11 minutes remaining.
And one of the good things from the Salford point of view is that they're still positively going forward, wanting to score more tries. And whenever you play rugby league positively, then you can score the tries. As soon as you settle back and think that you've won a game, then that's when you can see them. But not this Salford team. So much confidence. Superb second half. The first half was pretty good, but there is even been better plays, and we've had 3 tries so far this second half, 5 altogether from Salford tonight against Saints. And Phil Ford wanted that one. Running forward to the 20, taking the tattle. And Salford looking to bring the ball forward again, and for all that, they're not being silly. Well, there's one pass out and nobody wants it. So Andy Burgess will grab it, and he gets his pass on to Bob Marston. And even in these situations, Salford looking to pass the ball on all the time whenever the opportunity arises, but they're doing it in a controlled manner. Peter Williams inside pass to Chris Toro, and there's Paul Forber getting so well into ball. Oh, and a pass to the man under the burst. Oh, superb backing up. Superb rugby league from Salford, but the tackling from Saints good enough that time to stop the break being made clearly. And Sean Brown seeing the chance, and he gets his pass on, but it goes to ground unfortunately, and gives Saints the chance to build. But another tremendous period of play from Salford.
Yes, a good break there by Brown. He saw the gap, he drove for it, drew the Saints defence in, the pass went loose, Mike Riley snapped it up. Saints back to a full complement now, Andy Dannett on. But 10 points Salford have come up with in Dan Dannett's 10 minutes in the sin bin, so obviously they've done the job. Chris Joint running out wide, just 2 points from a Lachlan penalty goal, the first scoring of the second half is all Saints have to show for this evening's endeavour. Sonny Nicol
Well tackled.
Slipping it out there to Sean Casey. But Salford come in, gang tackling. They backed up for each other. They're always there when the Salford are in possession, and they're there to defend when the Saints have possession. Gus O'Donnell puts a tester up. Looks too deep. Yeah, it has gone too deep, so Salford will restart. He just give the man of the match there, Steve. Did he say Paul Farber? Yeah, well, he's had a good game, Farber, and he plays well, he plays hard, and obviously he's done well, especially after doing 10 seasons plus at St Helens. But Salford restart from the centre of the 20-metre line, 28 to the score, and time running out. What are we, about 8 minutes remaining, Steve?
Risky pass there, but O'Neill snaffles it up and gets into full speed. He might be going across field, but he's going to search for that little opening. So he made something out of it. And Gary Jack will try and do the same. Gets his pass on to Marsden. And Marsden's done so well. Made a few more metres. O'Connor looking for somebody, nobody that way, so he has time to turn and then straighten up and go on his own and still make 10 metres. Good play from Salford again, and immediately they're back into the Saints half. Not a good line over this side. Foot four's going with a kick and the chase is on, and Critchley's on with the chase, but he's just easing back. Perhaps he recognises that he was offside, although I'm not sure that he was, but he plays it safely and then makes the tackle count.
Yes, I think he was offside. I think the referee shouted to him there, Steve, and that's why he held back. But plan ploy again, and he's the man with pace, isn't he? Absolutely. And Ford chips it through, and that's the idea. Capitalise on the opposition's weaknesses, and here's Ian Peckervance. Played well this evening. Probably be the man of the match as far as Saints are concerned this evening. Griffiths, long ball out to Steve Prescott.
Well tackled.
Oh, but bounces off the first line of defence. Comes in again, and solid tackling there. Farber involved heavily. Saints just going through the motions. Gus O'Donnell took his eye off it. Chris Torrow gathers it, and he drives forward 10-15 metres.
Yeah, going through the motions. I said you go through the motions in rugby league and you get nowhere. It's got to be positive all the time, like this from Salford, all the way along the line. Peter Williams well wrapped up though before that last final pass could move out to Phil Ford. And Salford, Bob Marsden looking to pass on, but Salford perhaps just having a breather, and who could blame them? Terry O'Connor going one way, back the other. Shrugging one off, still on his feet, still wanting to go forward. He scored one try by doing just that. The fans love that play from him. Sean Brown, Andy Burgess, running, straightening up. And when you go straight for that line at speed and with strength, then there's something on. Mark Lee going on his own little kick through and taken by Vivers. And here's a chance now for Saints from nothing. They can come forward. And that one's been reeled back for a forward pass, and really absolutely nothing going for Saints tonight. And the referee very clear that he was in line for that one. And it was brought back as a forward pass. Just nothing at all going for Saints, has to be said. And Farber going off for a well-deserved rest, just rotating the squad, and Richard Webster coming back on. And boy, aren't these Salfords good. In fact, let's just listen to the applause for man of the match, Paul Farber, not just for Salford, but for the whole 30 players that we've seen on view here tonight. Peter Williams in the line. Superb display from him. The fans have loved it. Contributed so much to what surely will now be a Salford victory. Little run around from Sean Brown over that side. So close again to the Saints line. Salford spending time inside the Saints 20. Gary Jack wanting to go and score. And look how close he is. So close. 35 minutes gone. Offside. Phil Ford there, but taken down, and Salford come back a little bit. Going through the tackles.
Let it go.
Sean Brown dodging, weaving, looking for somebody to pass to. Oh, David Young did well to take that. And look at the momentum that he's got, nearly taken over the line before it snapped up by Saints. So Saints that time having the measure of the Salford attack.
Yeah, it's only just on the rare occasion, Steve. But as you said, nothing going right for the Saints. And there again, we have a fumble at the play of the ball. Tommy Hodgkinson couldn't control it. It's just been a catalogue of errors as far as the Saints have been concerned. 16 minutes before the first try by O'Neill. That was a long cut-out ball. Salford went in there 4-0 in the lead, and then they never looked back, really. An excellent performance. They backed up for each other. The Saints tackling has left a lot to be desired, but it's Gary Jack linking up for them, full-back position, onto Phil Ford. He's jinking his way through, and Salford looking for another try.
Peter Williams, oh, what a good thinking from him. Hanging on, but then trying to get his pass on, but dropping it to Saints, and a chance gone there, and Saints with a chance now.
Yes, Sonny Nicol running out wide, but been unable to penetrate this tight Salford defence this evening. Andy Dannett back on after 10 minutes enforced rest for an alleged high tackle. Well, it was a high tackle. I didn't think it had connected, but Steve thinks he just caught Paul Farber. John Neal gets it away to Chris Joynt. Out to Dannett now. Dannett holds on instead of moving it out. It looks as though Saints had about 2 or 3 man overlap on the right. Tommy Hodgkinson, John Griffiths along the line. Gus O'Donnell, Sean Casey coming through. Forward pass called for. But the ball released, and the referee must have shouted held. So therefore it'll be a scrum down Salford feed.
Thought if you passed after me shout out, it's a free kick.
Well, he's saying he mustn't have heard him, Steve, so obviously, and he's giving him the benefit of the doubt, but it's still Salford feed.
But not Salford ball. Oh, but perhaps they get another chance.
Yeah, they get another chance, Steve.
Oh, well. Oh, bit of fisticuffs. So we don't need any of this, and Salford don't need any of it. We need these. We need the Salford players to be kept apart.
Yeah, the scrums have been very.
Somebody guilty in there. It can't be Paul. It can't be Paul Farber because it's not.
Obviously somebody guilty there, Steve.
Yep.
Of throwing a punch in the scrum, but it's they've been very. How can we say? Vigorous in the scrums, haven't they? Like, you know, they've been not the usual in and out job, as you said before. Right. They've been very competitive.
Yes, and it's good to see, isn't it? It's good to see.
Well, it is for a change, but perhaps it slows the game down a little bit from what we're used to. But Saints with the last throw of the dice, looking for a first 4-pointer. Well beaten this evening by Salford. Credit where credit's due, and it's not so often you have a lot to crow about, Steve. Absolutely. Is it, when you're playing Saints?
And you certainly have to make most use of it, but here's a chance for Saints. But the Salford tackling right to the end isn't giving up.
Oh no, well it won't do, will it? You don't want the opposition to score, do you? Unfortunately, when Saints have a hefty lead, they usually allow an odd try in. But Ian Pickervance there gets the ball away. Nicol on to Vevers, out to Mike Riley, looking to squeeze in, but look, 3 and 4 Salford tacklers there, come round, force the man out. Vevers along the line, Saints looking to spread it. Chris Joynt give the sidestep. It's the 6th and final tackle. Saints are going to have to run it. There's no danger about that. Obviously the game's lost. A long cut-out ball. Interception.
Interception now. Can he go all the way? He's got the legs. He's got his head down. Can anybody catch him? No, they can't. Phil Ford. Absolutely brilliant. Enjoy the minute, man. That is superb. Another Saints attack. Coming a try to Salford almost. Oh, superb interception. He kept his eye on the ball. He broke clear, and he showed that not only can he go the length of the field, he's got the legs of the younger St Helens players, and what a way to finish the game. Another try for Salford against Saints, absolutely brilliant. Well, I'm just going to spend the remainder of this game drooling over this Salford performance. 90-yarder, superb Phil Ford, one of the longest he scored for a long time. It's absolutely magnificent. The fans love him.
You know, Steve, you can't beat a drool now and again, can you? But at full marks to you. If it had gone to Saints' hands, it'd have been a try for the Saints. But obviously, the long ball, Ford snapped it up, and he's a classy player. There's no danger about that. Saints had to turn, and they couldn't catch him. Excellent try, and can Brown convert it? He can. 34 points to 2.
The better size, the better club, but today it's Salford's game, not just by a little bit, but by a mile. The confidence that we've seen over the last few weeks, the confidence and the ability and the skill that very nearly brought a victory against Wigan on Saturday has continued in abundance today and shown that now Salford are a match for anybody, and we really do look forward. Look at the fans loving Phil Ford. Can he do it again? No, he'll say, I'll take the tackle, thank you. They really can look forward to a possibility of a top 8 spot, provided this sort of form can be maintained. Oh, who would have thought Some people thought, and I was amongst them, that maybe the efforts last Saturday would have drained the stamina from the Salford team, from the attitude of the team. But on the contrary, the game they finished today's match as strong as ever, and the stamina of the team is absolutely outstanding. The confidence that victories bring is there in abundance to see. Everybody wants the ball. They're willing to try things. They're going forward whenever they can. And we've got 34 points. That's 6 tries against St Helens. Superb. And there's a push, another push at the scrum, and one against the head. Yet again, this is wonderful rugby league. And a chance for Salford, and Critchley nearly get clear, but he's still on his feet. Again, Salford still looking to go forward. So many men, one against the head. Again, not for the first time tonight. And Taro going over the first one, and the second one, pushing men off. Oh, wonderful play from Taro. Excellent rugby. And Salford, the Saints, 20 yet again. And Salford, the chance from the fans. They can sense that this team is really going places. Mark Lee going forward and his own little inside pass. Oh, but O'Connor unfortunately dropped that one, and Saints regain possession. But again, exciting play. And again, it was from the push at the scrum, and it's an equal number in each team. Good to see. And it's not that Salford are a strong team. You have the last word, Ron, because I will just spend the next half hour saying I enjoyed that. Well played, Salford.
Yes, well played, Salford. I'll agree with you there. Saints comprehensively beaten on the evening. No qualms about it. Saints didn't do the tackling in the first half. They didn't stop the ball being thrown about by Salford. They backed up. They played as a unit, and the score tells it all, doesn't it? 34 points to 2. Worst beating Saints have had for a while. I mean, even against Wigan when we got beat 40 points to 8, we seem to compete, but unfortunately Salford just beating us off the park this evening, and Hoof not a lot to say.
And we're going for a lap of honour. We may be at home, but the players are responding to the chants from the fans. The fans are responding to the efforts from the Salford team. And let's hope that the media convey to Salfordians everywhere just how good this Salford team has become. No game can guarantee victory, but what they can guarantee, that really must be music to the ears of those Salford players, the fans staying on to cheer and cheer. They know the rugby league. They know that Salford have played superb rugby league tonight and over the last few weeks, and they are staying to chant because Saints are no mugs. Let's face it, Saints many positions higher in the league, but it's the Salford team that tonight has dominated them more and more as the game has gone on. The fans are staying to cheer them, and the final score after a superb performance from Salford is Salford 34 points, St Helens 2. Well played, Salford.
7-month-old Jester went missing last Tuesday. He was found in the village of Shropham. He appears to have stowed away on a delivery truck that transported him across the country. He was